What's up? Welcome Friday morning, everybody. Your FearlessChoice.com daily hit and run show. Pete Cole here, and I am not solo. This is really cool. I had the man back, the man who he was baseball savant before baseball savant actually came out. No, but seriously, one of the most knowledgeable MLB guys I know in the industry. Great to have him back, James Grande from Fantasy Alarm. What's up, brother?
Thanks for having me, Pete, and thanks for the the warm welcome. Happy to be back, and good to just have the Fantasy Alarm. Nice ring to it, just the one instead of Fantasy Alarm and DFS Alarm. It was a nice year run with both, but now just FA. It's a nice ring to it, just to stop after Fantasy Alarm, right?
Makes a big difference. You're not going to say I rate for your Fearless Choice and Fantasy Alarm, so three of them. Makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
but we get a double whammo today. Fearless Choice and Fantasy Alarm together. Is that double play, double hit and run, whatever you want to say it, releasing course, but we're here and it's a good one. It's a Friday slate. So it's a huge slate tonight. What's it, 13 games?
Mm-hmm.
So 13 games Friday, a lot to go over. Big night last night in your Fearless Choice, actually. Aaron Nix, one of our longtime subscribers. Aaron has been back. He's been with me back to Daily Fantasy Solution days back, like 8 years ago. Aaron came in, you came in second or third in the big $15. I had it pulled up now. Of course, I don't have it now. But Aaron, congratulations to Aaron. So I guess it was fourth. He came in fourth, and that's a hell of an accomplishment for the $15. Right. 192.85 was the score. He threw Wheeler, Ohtani. He had a hell of a lineup beside Jake Lamb. Jake Lamb's got to go. If he can't hit in fourth, he's got to go. So I actually didn't have a bad night. I came in third to 20. We had some really good scores. Also. One of our other longtime guys came in second yesterday in the showdown. So congratulations to Nolan on that one. So we had a really good day. Yesterday. Across the board, everybody, $25 a month. That includes all sports. And pretty soon it's not just gonna be baseball, right? I'm a college football guy. You're an NFL guy, right?
I'm primarily NBA, but I listen.
That's really true.
We listen, Pete. We play DFS, right? We have some money over here, some money over there. We dabble in a lot of different places.
Before you know it, it's gonna be the end of August, and we'll be doing big time college football.
Sure.
So I'll be back with Danny Servo over there, which is gonna be cool. Then they should know college basketball. That's my sport. I said NBA is your sport. So we got another good month here of MLB to hit it hard. I like actually MLB in September too, because you got all these guys on Mondays after winning their football. The football money, they want to dabble, right? The degenerates. I'm talking about myself, but you can make some money on Mondays and Tuesdays. MLB in September. So welcome back, James. We'll talk about the slate. So let's just roll it out. And right now, I don't see any weather. I just see a little bit Colorado, some storms supposed to clear before first pitch. This is from Kevin Roth, Roto Grinders. Shout out to him. I don't see much else. Maybe some rain, Arizona, Atlanta.
Always summers in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, so hot in Truist Park, Hitters Park. So looking forward to that. So that's it for weather. I don't have to deal with that. And the odds. First thing I noticed when I called up Vegas, and I think you got the sports book up too. We have two 400 minus 400 money line games. Yankees and Cole, Blue Jays and Manoa, both minus 400. I'm not sure when the last time I've seen this.
I don't either. So we definitely have different sports books. They're close to 400 on DK Sportsbook. Haven't reached it yet. 380 for Cole, 365 for Manoa, but close enough, right? Close enough, right? I mean, It's close enough. But I don't remember that either. I mean, we saw what the Royals offense is going to look like, right? Without Benintendi and possibly no Witt again. And we know what the Tigers are against right-handed pitching. So it doesn't surprise me. It is a big number that we haven't seen a lot this year, but when you think about it, it doesn't necessarily color me all that surprised.
And Dodgers, Braves, White Sox. What's Lance Lynn going tonight? All of them over 200. Yep. So we got 5 big favorites on the implied side. We got, of course, it's a Coors game. So we got to maneuver through that Coors landmine. Finally, a Coors first game popped last night, but it was the Dodgers. Usually you get that first game Coors experience hangover, but the Dodgers weren't about that last night. But there's 7.1 implied I have. Then I got the Yankees 5.9, the Jays 5.8, Braves 5.5 at Truist. and then 2 others, Cardinals and Brewers, all over 5 implied runs. So a lot of offense tonight, but we have a lot of pitching. And to me, this is almost a night I don't see any, and we'll go through. I don't see any real value popping. This is a normal night, but you want to go 2 studs, but then you got cores, you got the bats, so you got to make some decisions here. And that's why I'm really glad to have you on the show today too, to help us through that, because it's going to there's a lot to go through, and you got to make some kind of decision. Are you gonna go double bang up the 2 studs, or are you gonna try to find a value and run the Dodgers bats? It worked out for me last night. I ended up going Wood over Wheeler, and it got me Freeman. It got me a couple of the bats, which actually helped me along really well. But it's a different night. So, all right, let's get right to it. So a lot of games pitching. So I'll let you start. Let's go through. You want to go through we'll go through my salary guys, as most of our top pitchers are in this top range here. Actually, ownership. I have some ownership. Looks like right now, no one is no, that's hitters. So Cole's the guy, I'm assuming, right? As I'm waiting for ownership to come up. No. Bieber and Cole are both over 30%. What I have. This is early, 10 o'clock in the morning projections, though.
Bieber. I mean, I get it because the price, right?
And that
feels more of like a price point play than it does. I mean, look, we know Bieber is talented, but has he been the same guy as he's been pre-injury? No. So
not at all. These projections are weird. I got Bieber and Cole over 30%, and then I got Lance Lynn. I'm not playing Lance Lynn on Slate like tonight. Yes, it's Oakland, and then Manoah, then JV. JV's I'm seeing 50% ownership. To me, I would love to get JV and Bieber together, and then just call it a night and move on to my batters. Might be tough to do that, but you're talking about $20,900 on DK.
So I'm probably I'll split the difference there. I agree on Verlander. I don't love the Bieber play, to be honest. And I'm not saying
Bieber. No, I don't.
No, right? Okay, good.
It's in the Trop, of course. I mean, the Rays are reeling right now. I mean, tough offense. They're struggling, but Bieber to me is not the Bieber that we all know and love, right? I mean, Bieber is really just.
So let me sell you on the Rays offense a little bit more. And I agree, they largely have been disappointing, but the month of July has been different for them. 8th in OPS against right-handed pitching. The strikeout rate, they don't really strike out all that much, just 22.7%. They're a top 10 team in, I guess the ISO is not top 10, but they're 7th in WOBA. 7th in WOBA, 8th in OPS as an offense against right-handed pitching.
That's this month.
This month alone. So I don't know, Bieber also hasn't been that guy. He's not striking out guys. I mean, we're talking about a guy, right? 2019, 30% K rate. 2020, 41% K rate. 2021, 33% K rate. This year, 24% K rate. Something is missing. And if he's not missing bats, he's just not the same. I get it. If you guys want to play Bieber, that's fine. But I think I'm going to bob while everyone else is weaving tonight.
No, I totally agree. I mean, last start he got tagged with 6 runs to the White Sox. Second time in the last 3 starts, which you gave up 5 or more.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the Rays offense is not. When you got, if they go with a projected lineup, Diaz, Lau, Arizarena, Choi, Paredes, it's not bad. Luke really can hit. No, I'm not on Bieber too. I would love to see Bieber 45% owned or whatever. Mm-hmm. Let everybody else roll him out. And to me, I would have him ranked behind Manoah, behind Cole, behind JV, behind Woodruff.
Yep.
I guess it's the price. It's the price, I guess, that people are looking at 8-9.
It's gotta be.
I'll find a value bet to get up to a.
Would you play Bieber? Would you play Bieber at 10-6 over on FanDuel?
That's what he's on FanDuel? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't even play him in a GPP.
I wouldn't even play him in a GPP at that.
Once again, the Rays team is still a good team, and we know they're going to get hot again. They do this every year. They go through these little lulls. Like I said, they're back hitting again now. Numbers are actually deceiving. They're actually hitting better than people think in July. And I have too much respect for the Rays. It is a pitcher's park. It is the Trop, but still, Bieber is not impressed me at all. He's given 40 on a season, 43% hard hit rate. That's a damn high number.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
All right, so if we're gonna X out Bieber, you're looking at. I mean, I'm still all about Cole. Maybe it's just, as I'm a Yankee guy, but
I mean,
we saw what Talon did to him, right? Talon rolled right through Kansas City yesterday, returns to Yankee Stadium, Kansas City 21.5, strikeout rate, 125 ISO, 107 WRC plus right-handed pitching, going up against a Bubic should get the win. I like Cole. To me, I like Cole over JV. I don't think I can get both of them in there. What are you looking at? And then we have Manoah and Woodruff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's Cole or JV, but it's close. Like it's 1A, 1B, I'd say. If that's the way you want to view it. Cole's been dominant at home this year. It's crazy when you see numbers like this, but this will be the 6th time Verlander faces the Mariners this year. 4-1 this year, 2.6 ERA, 26 DraftKings points per game. So obviously, can't fault you for wanting to go Verlander, considering he knows this offense inside and out. Nobody's going to have a better scouting report than Justin Verlander. But I do still lean Cole. This offense is a shell, especially if there's no Bobby Witt again for KC. They just really don't have the horses to compete with Garrett Cole at home. Woodruff definitely in play. I think so too. Boston's lineup definitely has come alive, but it's been something that I've been talking with John and Pemba over at Fantasy Alarm on our Fantasy Alarm DFS podcast. Devers on the IL, Story on the IL, Kike on the IL. JD Martinez looks horrible at the plate. Who knows if he's still injured? He hasn't had a hit since returning from the All-Star break. This lineup is a shell of themselves. And yes, they've been a little better lately, the last 2 games specific, but just 4 runs last night. It was all aided by Xander Bogaerts, heroics, 3-run home run. He
made me money last night.
Yeah, and you know what? He's a good player. He just hasn't flashed any power this year. I don't expect that power to continue against Woodruff. So I'm in on Woodruff as well. Manoah's an obvious. He's going to be very popular. Detroit does not hit right-handed pitching well. Yeah. I think the next couple of guys, I think it's interesting. This mid to low 8K tier. Joe Ryan against San Diego. San Diego's been bad against right-handed pitching this month. 24th in OPS, 21st in WOBA. Joe Ryan coming off, his best start in, quite a while. Back-to-back starts in which he's only allowed 1 earned run. The pitch count building up. We went from 78, first start back from the All-Star break, 86. So, pitch count should be back in the 90s. Martin Perez, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right?
That's who I'm kind of looking at right now. I'm looking at Perez as a possible 2 for cash.
Well, who strikes out more than the Angels? Literally nobody, right? The Angels are the creme de la creme of matchups in terms of strikeouts, and now there's no Mike Trout.
Luis Renigro is your cleanup. Who's actually hitting pretty well.
Yeah, he's hitting well, but it's just the fact that he's hitting in the heart of the order. It's just
we've all been waiting for. I have Perez on a lot of NFBC, a lot of season long stuff too. Waiting for him to turn to a pumpkin, and he hasn't. And just want LA strike out 24% or more against lefties. He's been reliable. He's been effective. I think it's taken Perez his whole career, but I think he's actually kind of figured out his pitch mix here. Mm-hmm. I like Perez as more of a cash play than GPP play. But you're right. You just think there's a lot. Jeffrey Springs, Ray to me is always a GPP play. Yep. Always he could end up nuking the slate. Blake Snell, same thing to me, can always nuke the slate. Kyle Wright, there's a lot of ways. That's the problem with these big slates.
Yep. So Kyle Wright's interesting, and I don't know how much exposure I'd have. Arizona's offense has this weird shift right now.
Yes.
Where they're walking a lot, they're not striking out at all. And they're pretty good. They're top 10 in OPS, top 10 in WOBA. They're just kind of good right now. Again, they don't strike out, they walk, they get on base, they're scoring. So I'm probably not going to play Kyle Wright. The only other name that I'd mention, I think, is going to go 100% under the radar. And I think if you have the ownership up, it's going to reflect that. Marcus Stroman. Okay. Hear me out.
All right.
Ground ball pitcher going to San Fran. Doesn't get much better than that. In July, right? So we have a full month sample of data because it's literally the 29th of the month. San Francisco against right-handed pitching, 28th in WOBA. They are 30th in slug. They are 30th in OPS. They are 28th in ISO. with a 24.5% K rate. That's against righties in July. So 28 days sans the All-Star break, right? Stroman coming off his best start in a long time, pretty much since he returned from injury. I mean, dude, 2 straight starts where we've gotten decent strikeout numbers. He has 11 strikeouts in his last 10 in the third. The pitch count
strikes out the left to righties.
I think Stroman, 0 people are going to play him because it's 13 games. There's going to a lot of options on the board. Think about it. Like, as you're rattling all the names, I said Joe Ryan, we both said Perez, you said Snell, you said Springs. Marcus Stroman just left off the board, right? I think he's interesting for tournaments for sure. If the sinker's not sinking, we're in trouble. But it has the last 2 starts against 2 pretty good offenses in the Mets and the Phillies. And the Giants have not been that over the last month. I know they have a lefty dominant offense. Like, they can throw out a lot of lefties, but they're all very streaky. I mean, Jock Peterson, nobody's streakier than him.
He's not hitting right now, really.
Brandon Belt also not hitting sub 200 over his last 10 games. Mike Yastrzemski sub 200 over his last 10 games. Like, this is a lineup that can be exploited right now. I'm in on Stroman in tournaments. I think he's a sneaky tournament winner, even.
Like that call. And honestly, I didn't give Stroman too much thought. He's just going to kind of fall through the cracks there at that price, at that 8-1 price. When people are going to dip down to like a Lance Lynn, who is just, I'm not taking a chance on a guy like Lance Lynn tonight.
You're not? You're not? Oh,
Lynn is not. I don't care if it's the A's or not. I mean, what's the A's? I have them as the 7th highest K rate against right-handed pitching. They're playing better. Hitters Park.
They are playing better. 100% give you that. They are playing better.
They're in Chicago. Lance Lynn has not. I've never been a Lance Lynn guy though, but you're more of a Lance Lynn guy, aren't you?
I am.
We were talking to you about Lynn earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, like, this was like a Cy Young. This was like a Cy Young candidate last year, and like, I know, I get it. He's been bad, dude. I know. I probably should be. I shouldn't be getting sucked in by one good start.
Right. We keep waiting for it to turn. So maybe that was, the start we're looking for. He's one thing I always liked about Lynn. He throws a lot of fastball. He throws all but cutters, change up, slide.
So many. Now he's like so fastball reliant.
I don't know. I need to see more from Lance Lynn. Jeffrey Springs, I like. Here's a name, and I guess we're dropping down to the value though. I don't see much value. Like punt dart type value. I don't see much here at all, except one guy I have a little bit of interest in is Billy Falter, because it's Pittsburgh. Now Falter hasn't done much at all, but we know that a team like Pittsburgh can make you look like Cy Young, and Falter actually was great in the minor leagues. He hasn't done nothing here, right? What's Falter? 5'8", 518 ERA, 145 WHIP. Decent start against the Nationals. Remember, this is the Pirates. So right. The Pirates can make you look good. They can make me look good if I was pitching tonight. So I'm just, once again, this is, if I'm multi-entering, a bunch of lineups, certainly not cash, but do you see anybody else down there you could throw in if you want to like stack the Dodgers with a Cole? Would you throw like a Falter in there? Anybody else see down there? Anibal Sanchez? I don't mess with Sanchez. Is the kid for the Red Sox? Is Brian Bello? We all know Bello was talented, and we got Pedro Martinez calling him, saying he was better than he was at that age. Maybe it is time to give Bello a shot. He's only $4,800. The kid's been hit hard.
I know. So I'm interested in Falter. I think there are some plays on Pittsburgh also I'm interested in. I think it can go both ways.
Definitely.
I definitely agree with you that the minor league numbers were tremendous for Falter, like over a strikeout an inning. He didn't allow anything, no earned runs, had 0.6 WHIP. Like, that was awesome. So I definitely think he's in play. We saw last night how dominant pitchers can be, and I'm not comparing Falter to Zach Wheeler, but just Pittsburgh's offense in general. This is going to be the start that Bayo is dominant, right? Because I feel like I've been on him in each of his first couple starts.
Me too. I look at a fool. And I was praising this kid big time his first 2 or 3 starts, and I still have.
I mean, he's an elite prospect. It's not like he's just like a nobody. I think that
just his head.
Yeah, it's definitely in his head. I think the thing you have to consider with Milwaukee is they're so boomer bust. I mean, Rowdy Tellez 2 home runs the other day. 4 games in a row where he just does nothing. Like that's just his MO. Same Willie Adames, very powerful guy against right-handed bats or right-handed pitchers, but like very inconsistent. Like they're just filled with just ups and downs. Yelich so inconsistent. McCutchen like they're just. It could be either way. You can get Milwaukee goes for 10 runs in 3 innings, and you're like, oh well, my night's over. I can start focusing on Saturday's slate, or Brian Bello actually has a good start. I'm
using Bello if I'm making 5 lineups.
Yeah, if yes, 5 lineups.
Probably because I'll
go 10 lineups.
If you're doing a 20 entry $4,
then
you're using Bello once or twice.
20%, 10% of that. Fair. I just want Pete, one more thing. I just want to circle back to Lance Lynn real quick. Okay. Yep. I'm going to try to sell you for one more second. I know we have to move on. 6.43 ERA this year, 3.83 xFIP, 3.33 BABIP, batting average in balls in play. I mean, I know, I get it. Like, he's just been a little unlucky, okay?
He's not walking people.
Give Lance Lynn he's been a little unlucky. The strikeouts haven't been there like they have been in years past. He's getting a little unlucky, and I know Oakland's been better lately, especially in the power department, which is crazy to see. But I think I'm in on Lynn, especially considering the value. Like, we're not going to get Lance Lynn at this price for much longer, especially if he pitches as well. And then when you factor in the rest of the value tier, like, it's pretty trash.
You're right. There's not much else there. And it's a core slate. There's a lot of bats we want.
Yep.
Okay, so, and it's true because the xFIP's not that high. It's high.
It's pretty good, dude. 383, like, is like it's not Lance Lynn caliber, like his past seasons, but like, that's pretty good, man. Like 383 FIP, like it's not bad. That's like a pretty middle of the road starter there.
It looks like, lefties are really hitting them a lot harder. 372 Wobo, 217 ISO.
Yep.
But once again, who's the lefties? The Brown kid, Machine, whatever you say. Tony Kemp's your lefty. That's it. Think about it. These are all righties. Andrus, Chad Pinder's a righty. Steve Piscotty's a righty, right?
Yep.
Laureano's a righty, right? So, you're starting to sell me on them. So, circle this all back to kind of wrap this up. Is what we just talked about a lot of pitchers. Talking cash first.
Okay.
First, rank me your top 4, and then right now, who are you looking at as your SP1, SP2 on DK, and then your FanDuel pitcher? Who's your top 4? Who's the top 4 pitchers overall tonight in cash? First of all, not even looking at salary.
I mean, it's hard to not look at salary because I would say I would say the top 3 in Manoah, right? That would probably be like the 4. So okay, if I'm going cash, I'll go Cole, Verlander, Manoah. I'll leave Woodruff off reluctantly. I understand that he's the guy. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, okay? Because I want to fit cores in cash. Lance Lynn on a per dollar basis.
That goes back to the next question. I think I agreed you now. I think you kind of sold me. So right now I'm looking at Cole, Lance Lynn, and Marty Perez as like a SP1A. But I think right now I'm looking at Cole. I'm looking at Cole and Lance Lynn, I guess. I think looking at this A's lineup right now, no lefties on here, and he's 111 ISO 281 wool, but the righties Lance Lynn this year. That's not bad numbers. That's kind of Lance Lynn of old. So yeah, I'm looking Cole Lynn right now. I think that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and Cole Lynn, you start if that's how you start your build, it's $4,100. Like, you can easily fit cores into that build.
You're not gonna get too much cores with a Cole JV.
No, you're not getting any cores.
Right, Cole. I mean, I think Woodruff's a great GPP pivot tonight. I think it's a great pivot off those two. Manoah 9,400. What is Lynn's price again? Wait, Lynn is 68.
68.
Oh, okay. the 10 minutes we're talking, for some reason, I'm thinking Win was 86.
No, he is $6,800.
When's your SP2? So we got Colin. Boom. All right. I was looking at somebody else. I'm thinking 86 the whole time you're talking. So okay, so if Lynn was 86, would you still be talking about Lynn? Not when Manoa's
probably not. No, you'd probably find the extra money to get to Manoa.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so good call.
Yeah,
good call on Lynn. I like it, and I'm glad you taught me into it. I think he is, and we pretty much talking about almost every pitcher on the slate now. So, and I was trying to avoid that, but
sorry.
Nope, that's good though. We went through them all, and everybody else is a gas can. We're not talking about Chad Cool. We're not talking about. We talked about Billy Falter, Arias and Coors, Anibal Sanchez, nope. The Garcia kid, no. Bubik, nope. And then he got Mad Bum at Truist, no. You never know though. Mad Bum could throw a no hitter tonight in Truist.
Don't you dare put that juju out there, Pete.
So,
don't you dare.
But he's capable of it.
I know.
I loved the press when he was talking to reporters about Robles. That was great. Typical
He is an old soul. He is an old soul. Let me tell you. He is an old soul.
My, what an old miserable person he is. Kind of reminds. That's what my kids say. That's kind of like me. But all right. So pitching. Give me a FanDuel. Who's your FanDuel cash? Cole.
11K. Garrett Cole. Yeah, I will say. If you do want to pivot to Lance Lynn, $7,500. Right? It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right, so Cole FanDuel, Cole DK, and we're liking Lance Lynn as our SP2. All right, so let's move on to some hitters. Catchers, we don't spend too much time on catchers when we talk. So I'm pulling up some BVP data. I like my BVP data. And it's actually been helping me a lot this year. Good. And for catching right now, I don't really see much. I look for like 15 at bats. Gary Sanchez. And I think Sanchez is a great GPP tonight against Blake Snell. Sanchez 6 for 20 lifetime, 5 home runs off Blake Snell, 20 at bats. That's a decent GPP.
Yeah, that's some eye-popping numbers.
Yeah.
Shout out Gary. I mean that all the battles they had in the East for a while.
It's true. And remember he was called Sanchez.
I was on that. I was calling him that too.
Oh man, he was another one. What a streaky hitter, right? When he got on those home run rolls. So maybe this is Sanchez night. And what is we're looking at Sanchez is only 3,300, great price. Of course, I think I'll give out some ownership, and then you give me your top pairs. I think you gotta like Sanchez. And my computer is like doubly slow for some reason. I got too much open. So right now I was looking at Will Smith at 5K against Chad Poole.
Do you know that's not what he wants to be known as anymore, Pete?
Who? Will Smith?
Will Smith wants to be known as WD.
Really?
Yeah. So I suggested yesterday to John, and if you look at your MLB app, he is now listed as WD. I suggested he should change his number to 40, so he now becomes WD40. Thoughts?
I think it's a construction company down here, WD. I really do. I think I'm seeing like the billboards.
I think that would be a pretty one of the best nicknames in all of sports if that's what we change it to. But I tweeted it at him yesterday, but no response, unfortunately.
So that's really true. He wants to be known as WD Smith.
WD Smith. Yep.
Interesting.
That's what he wants to be known as.
And he's going to carry the ownership in course.
Yeah.
Righty. Always been a good reverse splits hitter. Denaud's, I'm seeing 3 guys over 10% ownership. Kurt Denaud, Will Smith. You can't go wrong with any of them.
Nope.
Travis Denaud 3.8 against Mad Bum. Pretty damn good price for Travis Denaud. $3,800.
Yeah, and he rakes lefties. He's hitting like 330, 400 OP or 400 WOBA. So definitely in on Darno. Definitely in on. Those are the 3 names at the top that I have written down. The only other name over 4K I had written down and for GPP was Yasmani Grandal, who has come off the IL and actually has looked serviceable.
And over his last 7 days, hitting 421, Grandal.
Yeah, that's I think Caprillion is a shell of what he showed last year.
Yeah, we didn't mention Caprillion. I was going to ask you about what you thought of Caprillion too. And
I'm not in.
Yeah,
I'm not in.
Agree. All right, so we like Grandal.
Yep.
We got the big guys up top, the chalky guys, Anybody down below? I think Omar Narvaez at 3K possibly.
Tournaments only.
I've been using, but that's against your guy Stroman.
Yeah, I think Narvaez is tournaments only because he's been so bad.
Yes, he's been bad.
And they're carrying 3 catchers now. So like, if one of them's not hitting, I don't think they have a problem taking the other one out of the lineup. Narvaez only 22 at bats over his last 10 games. Like he's kind of getting taken out right now.
Yep, he's hitting 131 over his last 20. 0.98 ISO now. Yeah, so I've used Narvaez a lot over the years.
A lot. Yeah. This year, I've used him a lot this year.
You always waiting. He always had great splits.
Mm-hmm. Always hits righties. Yeah.
So I think so Smith's gonna be a popular play in cores. Once again, it's gonna be hard to fit these guys in. It was nice last night, but he piled up points quickly last night. Smith didn't need a home run. And Kirk, we all love Kirk. And the other guys, Denard and Grandal. Okay, let's get off catcher. We hate catcher.
Wait, I got just 2 punts for you.
Give me
punts for you. Sorry. Jose Trevino.
Yes.
Against a lefty, 377 WOBA against lefties this year in Yankee Stadium. Has been pretty good. 100 points better at home this year in terms of OPS. 765 OPS at home.
It's our all-star,
against a lefty. That's our all-star. True. And I've been playing a little Jason Delay here. They traded away Michael Perez. Pittsburgh did. Righty lefty matchup here. Falter's been very bad against righties. He's been faltering versus right-handed hitters here, Pete. 940 OPS, 407 WOBA allowed. So Jason Delay as a punt if he's in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm seeing Heineman all over the place is projected.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, whoever starts for Pittsburgh, they've been flip-flopping between the 2 catchers.
Heineman's going not a bad game against Philadelphia.
Who?
Heineman.
Heineman.
He had like 11 DK points.
Yeah. 2 games in a row. He's been pretty productive. So a 2K punt. Whoever the starter is.
And this may be the type of slate you do that because when you get those 2 pitchers, I always look for somebody, if you can catch a catcher batting 7th, 8th, 2K, 2-2, I'll usually run this guy. I've been running out that kid for Cincinnati.
Yep, same.
He hasn't been doing much, but always worth a shot. All right, that's catchers. We hate catchers. First base. Right now, I'm assuming I'm pulling up some once again, it's only 10 a.m. So this projection ownership could change. But I'm looking at right now, I'm assuming it's Freddie Freeman. Who's carrying the ownership? Not really. I have like 3 guys over 10%. Cavan Biggio, Freeman, and Rizzo. Freeman's obviously the play, lefty righty matchup against Chad Kuhl. This is almost a dream free Freddie matchup. This is last 3 seasons, 252 ISO, 429 WOBA, 323 batting average. Freddie just is a crusher. So crushes righties. He's the play, really. I mean, if you had the money. But let's get away from cores. I guess you can play Jake Lamb at first too. Is Lamb still?
I think he's only outfield now. They've had him outfield only for a couple slates.
So side cores. Anybody else you're looking at? You know who actually I've always been a fan is actually hitting well is Nate Lau at 3-2. Low Lau, whatever, but 272 ISO this year. It's a lefty matchup, but he's got some really good reverse splits. Nate Lau.
I like the player. I probably should like him more, but I have like a soft spot for Patrick Sandoval.
Another one that can nuke a slate for you.
Yeah. Like I'm not against it, especially because he's going to be 1% owned. I'm not against Texas in general. But I think
here.
Yeah, it's definitely in play for tournaments. I think Lowe has been awesome all of July. He's honestly been much better this year than I think people realize, but probably not for me unless I'm playing multiple lineups, but I can definitely get behind it.
Our stack. Some BBP numbers, actually. We got a couple here. Okay. G-Moin Choi hits Bieber. 4 for 10. At least double-digit at-bats, 400. Ty France, JV, 6 for 17 with a jack. CJ Cronus, Urias, and then I saw a couple. Josh Bell's got a couple jacks against Miles McCollum. So nothing crazy, but Ty France, Choi. That's your like BBP type numbers. Who else are we looking at? Who's your top play beside Is it Freddie? And if not, I mean, who else besides Freddie?
I mean, it's Freddie. I expect Goldschmidt is going to be activated because
Yes.
he is in a phenomenal spot against Anibal. Anibal's been crushed by righties. I know he's only made a couple starts, but
sneaky little stack here, right? This Cardinals.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna be on the Cardinals, of course.
Nobody's going to be on the Cardinals because they're as expensive as scores.
Yep.
Goldie 5'9". I mean, we know he's been, one of the probably three best hitters in baseball. Judge, Jordan, and Goldschmidt in whatever order you want. You can hearing that Kevin Biggio was going to be the first baseman in Toronto with ownership is kind of surprising considering Vladdy's been super good. And,
well, yeah, it's multi-position, I guess.
Yeah, multi-position and he's cheap, right? It lets you get the rest of Coors Field pretty much. But Vladdy, again, we talk about this all the time. I was surprised to see the Blue Jays with so much ownership on Thursday slate. They let everyone down again. They're 100% going off on Friday slate because nobody's going to play him.
That's it. That's me.
Garcia. Yep. Garcia. Same. Garcia was way worse as a starter as they started to stretch him out in the minors this year than he was as a reliever, which, happens because relievers aren't used to pitching deep into games and facing lineups more than once. So Garcia pitched 4 innings. That was his max in AAA this year. He's going to get shelled if he faces, especially if he tries to face his lineup twice. If he has to,
why is he even pitching?
They're just decimated, and also they're trying to trade everybody. So I don't think they're rushing. I don't think they're rushing anybody back from injury that they don't need to.
Last night. Why was Gomber? Gomber should have been starting last night. Why in the world were they even throwing? Why is Jose Urena starting? I mean, Austin Chalmers I still think he's a decent pitcher. I mean,
and he's had good career numbers in course, which is weird.
And he came in and actually did well for a while. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, don't worry about it.
Jose Miranda, another one I want to ask you about.
Yep.
I think last 15 days, he's hitting 423, 5 ribbies, one of the highest batting average for first base in the last 15 days. And Pete Alonso was on fire again, hitting 406. But I think Miranda is a sneaky little Twins always jack me. They tilt me. But I like them tonight. I mean, we already talked about Sanchez, that great BBP. Now we got Miranda. Grady lefty spot against Blake Snell. I mean, Snell could actually shut him down too, but I like Miranda tonight as a nice little value, punt, whatever. Anybody else we're looking at here beside the Coors, beside Vlad's? I mean, I'm not somebody, we all know you can play Rizzo, you can play Vlad, they're all in great spots, but anybody different that we could.
Dude, Miranda, it's so funny you mentioned Miranda and the Twins because they are 100% my arch nemesis. Not even a question about it. I cannot get the Twins right. Every good spot they're in, it does not matter. They're going to fail. It's been a miserable year using the Twins. But I agree on Miranda. 3 straight 3-hit games. And you mentioned the BVP or the average over the last 15 games. I put Rowdy Tellez down as a GPP play. Brian Bayo hasn't allowed a home run yet, but he's been hit around. And we know Tellez and the power. We know, I mean, he has a short porch in right field as well. I think that the Brewers are super boomer bust tonight. I think they literally could score 15 runs or get shut out. I'm not going to lie, Pete. I wrote down, and this is probably more FanDuel because if you're playing Cardinals and you don't have Goldschmidt, you're kind of trolling, I think. But Albert Pujols has been pretty dang good.
I was going to mention him too. And
he's been pretty good. And I mentioned
it when we running the base paths though. He can't.
Yeah, I mean, is he running?
Is
he running?
The only reason was the other night I pitched who they played a year. I pitched Kevin Gausman, and I would have won the damn $20 if I went. Who's the other guy instead of Gausman? I went Gausman over whoever was the other SP2 that night.
Luis Castillo,
and I know you went Castillo. Yeah. I went Gausman, and then he got on, and he was carrying piano on bad, but he's raking right now. And he looks good at the plate too. He looks like when he swings, that's a sweet. He still has that sweet swing, man.
Yep.
540 over the last week, 350 over the last month, 321 over the last 20 games. This is Albert Pujols.
the ageless wonder. I mean, look again. I think it's more of a FanDuel play or a site that you can play have a utility, right? Because I don't think you have a Cardinal stack tonight without Goldschmidt in this spot. But on FanDuel, you can play them both. You play one in your util. So if you want to be that guy, I did it last night kind of with the Phillies. I played Derek Hall over a more popular Rhys Hoskins, and that worked out. But I think that gap is much closer than Paul Goldschmidt and Pujols. So, but like again, yeah, it's cheap, and if you are like doing a double barrel, Cole Manoah, Cole Woodruff, Verlander Woodruff, right? Like you got to get creative with your lineups, and Pujols could be that guy.
Definitely. I said I watched him swing the other night. I was very impressed. That's like the old Pujols. One thing we didn't mention at catcher, and I'm looking at hit JT Realmuto's 9-game hitting streak, 438, 500, 719 slash 9 times. Realmuto's really hitting the ball. So that's another name to throw out there for catcher.
Yeah.
By catcher. But all right, so we all know chalk at first. We talked about Miranda being one of our favorite value. We talked about Pujols being a favorite value. Anybody else before we move on? I have a soft spot in my heart for Chad Pinder. I use him a lot, but we do like Lance Lynn tonight. I don't see anybody. I mentioned Nate Lau. I don't see anybody else really that's in a really good spot. Do you?
No. I think we pretty much covered the whole position.
Yep, we butchered it. Okay. Second base. Right now, under DK, second base, we got a whole bunch of guys all bunched up in projection ownership. Gorman, Lux, Biggio. I got first base and second base together. So Nolan Gorman's catching ownership again. Gorman, Lux, Biggio. They're your three people that people are looking at. Gorman. These Cardinals are in a good spot. And Gorman's only 3.2 DK, 2.5 FanDuel, middle of the order. He strikes out a ton.
Yep.
I think more than 30% I'm seeing. But he's also got 10 home runs. And he'll take a walk now and then. So I don't mind Gorman. I think Max Muncy might be a good play, but it's only 3,900.
That hurt. Oh, that hurt to hear.
29 FanDuel, 39 DK. But his BABIP is low. He's running bad in his BABIP right now. I don't know, man. I did play him last night after I said I'd never play Muncy again this season. I guess Muncy's one guy that sucks me in all the time because I know the day I don't play him. That same thing happened last time, of course. Last time I didn't play him, of course, he hit a bomb. So, and then I played him the next night, of course, he went over 5 or something. So,
I know. I get it. But like, why not just play Gavin Lux instead?
Yeah, and Gavin Lux is so under. This kid is so under the radar.
He's raking, dude, and
yeah, he is.
He's absolutely raking.
Yes, he's raking 383,
and his price doesn't move.
Yeah, why are we even talking about Max Muncy right now? When I played Lux last night. I actually played both of them last night, but I think you just lock in at 3.6 Lux.
Yep,
those are some crazy numbers. I didn't even 383 last 20, 440 over the last week, 350 over the last month. ISO 216, 442 OBP, WRC. His WRC plus is 200.8 over the last 20 games. He's better than that's saying he's better like 100% of the players. Right? WRC plus it means you're like you're 160 or 60, you're better than 60% of the players in the league. Yeah. Gavin is getting no love at all.
Dude, does he have the most? Does he have the most like underrated 307 average in baseball? Like, does anybody know that he's hitting 307 other than like Dodgers fans? 307 on the year, 817 OPS. Nobody's talking about him whatsoever.
I guess they want to see power. I mean, people like to see power, 29 ribbies, I guess. I don't know. But 475 wool, but 250 ISO over the last 20.
They moved him up last night, by the way, too, Pete. They moved him up in the order last night, too. So that's good to see. Like, he's been hitting 9th all year. I think he had 7th last night.
Yeah, he didn't hit. Yeah, it was McKinstry was 9th. He was, who was 8th? It was
Bellinger. I think they hit Bellinger 8th. And then I'm just saying, like, look, I think, speaking to your BVP point, Altuve is that guy tonight. If you want to do the second base BVP thing, 11 for
right? Yeah,
11 for 19. But like, this feels like a position you don't need to spend up on. I don't know if you feel the same, but like Gorman, when you have Gorman and Lux down here, that's mainly where I'm gonna sit.
Now, if I'm stacking the Stros, obviously I'm stacking around Jose Altuve.
100%.
Polanco hits another twin. Polanco hits now a little bit, 4 for 8. Nice BVP about Altuve. And this is like a real BVP, 11 for 19, two jacks. But
that's dominant.
Ketel Marte's decent spot. Gleyber Torres 5K now, but Gleyber Torres is in a good spot against Bubik. Torres hitting 310 over the last 20. He's fallen out a little bit. A couple days ago, I think he hit one out right against the Mets, but
yeah, the Oppo Taco to tie the game too.
Yeah, so Torres definitely play, but no, to me, it's all about don't even overthink this. I think you play Glucks, get your value there, and move on somewhere else.
Gleyber hits lefties, to your point, really well. That's been his MO this year. Lefties. So that's all he's hitting.
We like Gleyber, then we do. Yeah, Bubik's a lefty, so I'm looking at his last 150 games, 317 batting average on that split. 304, 49 WOBA. So Gleyber goes on the radar a lot too.
Always. I think the Yankees probably fall into the radar here, right? They scored only one run last night.
They're definitely gonna because everybody's gonna be on the Jays.
Yep.
I would think everybody's gonna be, of course, on Coors.
Yep.
I would even go the Rockies against Urias. We'll get into stacks in a little bit, but all right. Any other second base when you're looking at? So we have so many players here. I don't like these big slates, but I don't want to name them all and confuse people. But I'm right now. Lux is my favorite, and then I like Altuve and I like Gleyber Torres.
Yep. And
any punts you like? I don't see any punts that or I guess Biggio 2-4 because he has been hitting.
Yeah.
That would be like the only punt I'd be looking at. But no, I guess you call Nolan Gorman at 3-2 is almost close to a punt. So
yeah,
Gorman, that's our value right there.
Yep. I have, again, just to feed into my Milwaukee stack theory, Colton Wong's been better lately. $3,800. It's a good price in Fenway.
Not bad. And if you want to get cheap pace to the J stack, you get Espinal sitting there at 3-1 too.
Yep. You just can't resist. You can't resist not mentioning my man Espinal's name, huh?
Doesn't matter. He does always.
I can't wait till he wins you a tournament if he hasn't already.
He hasn't though. I'll be going crazy.
I hope that the day he does, you buy his jersey.
That's one of Pemba's guys too, right?
That is Pemba's guy for sure. It was like game 4. He's like, dude, he's hitting the ball harder than any other player in baseball. I was like, dude, it's been 4 games.
John was onto something.
He was onto something.
He's another Rain Man. All right, so all right, third base. Shout out to John and Pemba, our boss. Okay, third base. We got ownership right now. Muncie again. The bringer of rain's carrying over 10% ownership. Josh Donaldson. So my guy. That's what most of my season-long teams named are the bringer of rain. Arenado, good BBP against Sanchez, 4 for 10.
Okay.
That's really about it. Maybe a little Ryan McMahon hits Urias. Ryan McMahon, he's another one. He's a tough one to figure out, right?
Yep.
Riley against Mad Bum. Mad Bum seemed like he's done pretty good against Riley over his career, but man, Austin Riley against Mad Bum, to me, that's the
spot.
That's a spot. Alex Boehm's on fire,
dude.
Right?
So I'm tilted because last night I was like, I pretty much lowered my third base pool to Chapman and Baum. Those are my 2 third basemen last night. Especially when Justin Turner was not listed in the lineup. And I went to Baum and he had 10 DraftKings points and that's good, but like Chapman double dong. So like obviously a little salty there, but almost hitting 500 over his last 10 games. It's been crazy. Just no power. He just has no power.
Yeah. And I thought he was going to be more of a power guy too. I did a lot of research on Bohm earlier in the season when he had all the problems there. So he went out of Philadelphia. I did those spotlight write-ups on him. 419 the last 20 games, man. Like you said, but 149 ISO, but the WOBA 438. I don't like that ISO though, but definitely 3,800. No problem.
Hitting third too
against Quintana.
It's a good spot. It's a great spot. I like the call. I'm just happy he's 38. Where like we're not like getting up to 5K and we like need a home run because he's not going to get us one.
No,
he's not going to hit one.
It was funny. It was a day I did a player spotlight right up on Bohm, and that afternoon, as soon as it hit Twitter, he hit a bomb. I was watching the game. It might have been the last bomb he hit. We put it in a tweet. Oh my God, I just drew a blank on something else I was just going to talk about, and we got talking about Bone, but I'm trying to get Austin Riley in my lineup and maybe talk with the big guys. So if we don't want to go Riley, Donaldson 4,200. I get Donaldson's in play. Justin Turner.
Can I ask you something? What is your, because I don't think everyone is the same on this. What are your opinions on home and away splits? Do they matter to you as much?
No, I don't. I'm a big lefty righty guy,
Okay.
and maybe I should be looking at more home away.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it because Donaldson has been trash in Yankee Stadium this year, abysmal. He's done all of his damage this year on the road. And it's 124 at bat sample, so it's not like we're talking about a small sample size, right?
I wish it was an easier way because the way I research, I have the arms and all that. I never have home away splits, and I wish it was an easy way. If I could look at it easier. I'm kind of a lazy researcher. I would probably use it more.
I have a way for you. I'll get you the way over on Fantasy Alarm. But he does not hit well at home, and I'm not trying to make it out like I'm just home and away. I can't use him here, but when has one home run at home, hitting 169 in 124 at bats.
No,
it's a big sample, and I get it. He's been notoriously good against lefties, but he's also been bad lately, not hitting at home. And I'm with you. I'm going to play him in tournaments, especially in Yankee stacks, but especially given his price is super appealing.
It is a decent price.
It's a good price. And I think that's a lot of people are going to be okay, it's a great spot. It's a good price. Fits perfectly in my Yankee stacks because you're going to have to pay over $6,000 for Aaron Judge. And if you want to play Rizzo, who gets a lefty-lefty split in his advantage because Bubik's been horrible against lefties, it's definitely advantageous to use Donaldson. I'm just curious on your opinion on the home and away splits because he has been so bad in Yankee.
Yeah, I see a number like that, of course.
Okay.
Anybody else a punt type play?
I mean, Chapman in the mid tier. I'll throw it out there again. Chapman in the mid tier for sure.
Chapman, we didn't even mention Chapman coming off a huge game yesterday, double dong. He
has been really good lately.
Yeah, I was just
really good.
Daily roundup, and I didn't realize too that Chapman. I think all of his home runs, or pretty close to all of his home runs, are at home too, at Rogers Center. So there's another home away split.
Yep.
But he loves Rogers Center. Huge game. He's hot right now.
Yep.
Like Chapman. So I want to get to Riley. Riley's my guy.
Yep.
If I can't get to Riley though, I think you drop down to Chapman's 4-4. We have Donaldson at 4-2. So I would go Chapman over Donaldson.
Yep.
Unless you want to mess with these Dodgers and hope that one of these Dodgers guys, when Turner or Muncy have a game, but I'll probably be fading Dodgers here at third.
Yeah, you could play Justin Turner if he's in the lineup.
I'm playing Turner over Muncy, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not ever crossing anyone off my player pool, but if there's someone that's really close, it's Max Muncy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Max Muncy.
All right, shortstop. You're looking at Swanson or Turner.
Yep.
Ownership wise, I love Dansby Swanson tonight against Mad Bum. Swanson is my guy. He's still hitting. I mean, hit 300 last week. I mean, the kid. I mean, he's stealing bases. Love Swanson, but when Trey Turner is only $600 more, I mean, Turner. He just last night he didn't need to hit a home run. He just piled up points, man. A couple steals. Oh my God, just crazy. So Swanson is in a really good spot tonight.
Yep.
Turner. Who else? Adames to me is a GPP play. I like those GPP play. He's just too boomer bust for me.
He is better in this split though. He's way better against right-handed pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So for what that's worth, Adames has always been a reverse splits guy.
There's not much. There's not much at those couple of those guys.
Nope. I think this is the weakest. I think this is probably the weakest position on the board. You could probably play Edman. You could probably play
probably the other.
you could probably play Kiner Falefa for a punty type play. You know who I've been kind of playing, Pete?
He still has his history going right now. Connor Phillip is on a 14-game history, the second highest history in the league. Bohm is at 13, but 14, 314, 321, 392 slash for Connor Phillip. We talk about him on another slate. He may get you a steal, right?
Yep.
He's in play, playing for cash. The night we played him, I don't think he did anything, but
no, he did zero. He did zero
that night. But IKF would be your 3,400. Probably should be 3K. But I'm sorry, what were you gonna say before I rudely interrupt you?
I've been playing a little bit of Garrett Hampson when he's been in the lineup.
Me too. I've been playing him a lot lately. Yep.
He's been kind of good. He gets the split here. He's been really good against left-handed pitching all year.
The bat and the ball.
Yeah. So, like, they love Jose Iglesias, and I can't say I blame them because he's been really good. But if he does crack the lineup, I mean, 2,800 in a position.
If Hampson cracks the lineup, he's in my cash lineup.
Yep, agreed. I agree. I think that's a smart. I think that's a very sharp play.
And he's been getting 6 to 9 points, whatever. He maybe hits one out.
Yep, and he maybe steals a base too. Like he's not like your typical like Trey Turner dual threat, but he's like the Walmart brand of Trey Turner, right? Or like maybe not even the Walmart brand, but
the Dollar General.
Yeah, he's the Dollar. Perfect. He's the Dollar General brand of Trey Turner. That's the perfect way to phrase it.
All right, so that's it for shortstop. It's going to be up top. You want most people are going to the Swansons, to Turners, Bichettes. You mentioned Edmund. I think how many Edmonds? Pretty cheap, not bad.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, and who's getting the call today, right, Pete?
No.
Oh no, it's the weekend. Well, maybe we'll see. Paul DeJong is apparently going to get the call. He won like the AAA Player of the Month.
I totally forgot about Paul DeJong.
So he's like destroying AAA pitching.
Yeah, I know he was killing AAA, but why didn't they ever pull him?
They clearly wanted him to work through his demons, right? Like he's been horrible. So
here we go. And his
when you play him,
3 days. Yep. 17 homers, 351, 784 slugging. Crushing.
If he is in the lineup today,
he's streaky.
You're only probably playing him in your Cardinal stacks though, right?
Oh, well, definitely play him. He's gonna be minimum price, right?
Yeah, he's 3,100.
They're talking about this weekend. They're trying to dump Sosa, I see, huh? Especially
they're trying to make as much room for Soto as possible.
Don't blame them.
Don't say
Molina's coming back soon too.
Yep.
Paul DeJong, there you go. DeJong comes back. Everything I'm seeing looks like he's quick as tomorrow, but I don't know. DeJong plays, and if he's hot, we all know he's a streaky hitter. He's the type of guy to hit you 2 home runs in a game.
Well, it says weekend series, so like, are they considering that today? Because it is Washington. So
he hasn't been called yet, though. But something to keep in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Good call there, Paul DeJong, one of my favorites.
No,
is it DeJong?
I think it's DeJong. I think it's DeJong, but like there's also a like Chase DeJong in Pittsburgh. Like, dude, like, come on, like let's all get together and enunciate the same.
Tell same. I see Marquise Burrows saying you like the Yankees. DJ Rizzo, yeah, we all like the Yankees. Good call there, Marquise Burrows. Jeremy Burton's talking about Wong. Yep. Okay, outfield. So let's see. We all know the usual suspects. We're not going to go over every damn outfielder. Right now, it's looking at top ownership is going to Paul O'Neill's catching ownership.
Paul O'Neill.
DK.
Interesting. Paul O'Neill. That would be interesting if Paul O'Neill was lacing him up again.
That's one of my favorites. Eric is saying Eric. Our NASCAR guy is saying it's DeJong. He's a Cardinals guy. So.
DeJong, okay. Yeah, DeJong. Paul DeJong.
So we're looking at Lux, Lamb, Acuna, Betts, Judge, Tyler O'Neill, all over 10%. A little bit of Matt Vierling if he's leading off against Quintana tonight. I don't mind using Matt Vierling 2K leading off against Quintana.
Yep.
Interesting. So we all know the big bets. We don't have to go over all these. So tell me, who is your, usually you have money for like one big stud outfielder, and then you have to go usually two values, especially the pitchers we're using tonight. Who's your top outfielder tonight? If you have money for one guy, where you going? Is it Acuna? Is it Judge? Is it Betts?
I mean, those would be the top. Those would be the top three options. You're not leaving me a lot here, P. Those are the top three. Look, I don't know how you don't play Aaron Judge right now, and that's
his home run of the game.
I just don't. I mean, not only that, like 2 stolen bases in the last 5 games, like out of the clouds too. Like, we're up to 10 on the year.
Years,
dude. He is. This is like one of those magical seasons, right? Like that you tell your kids about. Like, seriously,
does he have a chance of breaking the record? What's he got? He's got
he's on pace for like 60. It's like 62. He's on pace for. But that was going into last night, so who knows? I mean, 459 average. Like he's not. He's hitting home runs, but like he's hitting everything. Like he's hitting in the gap, he's hitting singles, he's literally doing anything you want. I mean, it's very hard not to like him against Bubik tonight.
Yeah, I think you try to get Judge in even over Betts. You're not going to get both of them in probably unless you're just totally
Lynn Stroman,
Joe Ryan. Stroman's a nice little combo too, and that may be a way to go in some of these GVPs.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. So we both like Judge. Now let's move down a little bit to more like say like the 3.5 to 5K range, something like that. Anybody you like in there?
I mean, I like the Blue Jays. Lourdes Gurriel has been really good against right-handed pitching this year, and nobody ever plays him. Like he's the forgotten man in this. Always in the Blue Jays lineup, in the Blue Jays stacks. I know the power hasn't necessarily been there. Still 29 extra base hits though. We know the power is there. I don't know what's happened where it's gone. But 800 OPS essentially on the year, hitting 300, 4,100. Both him and Teoscar, I think, firmly in play. I like Eloy tonight. Power bat against Caprillion. Caprilion's been crappy against righty power.
Eloy didn't look good next core series, man. Though I don't know.
I mean, he has to be fair, he only played the one game.
It's just every time I see him, seem like he's popping up.
He has not been good. Games. He has not been good. But the 2 games prior to the cores, he homered in.
He was hitting. So
I don't hate Eloy for tournaments. I think the White Sox could be a little sneaky because I don't think Caprilion's good. And you mentioned at the top, like, yes, I like Lance Lynn. I think you've come around on Lance Lynn. That has been a hitter's park this year. Through and through, hitter's park. So it is a little worrisome using Lynn. But on the flip side, like, if Caprillion's not locating, which he hasn't all year, Eloy, we know Eloy is a big bopper, so he can take one out, and I think the White Sox could be a little sneaky overall.
Like it.
And Tyler O'Neill, you mentioned. I mean, Paul O'Neill. I mean, he's going to be
pretty. I got Paul O'Neill in there. But what is the love for Tyler O'Neill? I'm going to say Paul O'Neill. He's hitting 140 last week, 160 last month. I mean, I know he's only been back since like the middle of July. I'm an O'Neill guy too. I just don't know. I'm still waiting for him to get hot. Honestly, I would rather turn around and play a guy like Dylan Carlson leading off against Annabelle. I think he's solid, especially on FanDuel 2,800.
I'm anti. Like, I agree that Tyler O'Neill has not been great this year. The strikeout rate has always been there. Like, that's not anything different. I think it's the power speed combination. Like, last year, 34 home runs, 15 stolen bases. He has 7 steals on the year. It's been weird. It's been weird that the power hasn't been there, right? Just 5 in the 53 games this year. So I think that's the love that he's receiving. Carlson, this is way better from the right side of the plate this year.
That's a good point too. It's like,
but to your point, it is Annabelle Sanchez. So, like, it's not the most scary matchup in the world. So I'm not against Carlson. I'm not against both of them. Like, I think they're both fine. I think ultimately O'Neill's upside trumps Carlson's by a lot.
And he could hit one out for us. We didn't mention Kyle Schwarber, only 5,300 against Katana. Yep. He could take a lead. No, it's lefty. He'll be very low owned. Here's one. Good. It's got good news and bad news on this one. Springer got hurt last night, right? Went out. So we're thinking Raymond Tapia maybe leading off, but all of a sudden now he's up to 3,300. He just pumped up on DK to 3,300 when he was sitting at 2,500, 2,400 all week. So Tapia's been, he's been red hot. What a weekend he had.
Yeah.
You're looking at Tapia against Brian Garcia.
So I will say, like, it could be a little fool's gold there because the home run was like Duran lost it. It's the Mancini home run from last night. Like, he loses it. Duran loses it in the lights. But like and that's what John and Pema mentioned to me yesterday in the pod. And then the next day, to Tapia's credit, bases clearing triple, 4 RBI. So like, I agree. This is a guy who led off last year for the Rockies a bunch. Like before Connor Joe's emergence, he was pretty much their leadoff hitter. So yeah, I'm in on Tapia, especially if he leads off. I really think that Garcia is a can. And he's going to be in trouble, especially. And Detroit's bullpen does have some good pieces, right? But it's not going to. It's pieces if they're in the lead. Like, they're not. If Detroit's down, they're not going to throw those guys, especially when they're trying to trade them. So I like the Blue Jays in general, and I agree. Tapia is going to lead off if Springer's not in the lineup, and we know Springer anytime. Man, the guy he's just in and out of the lineup far too often. So I'm with you. I think Tapia is a great play.
I didn't know Billy Hamilton is still in the league in Miami.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I just saw his come up in some recent hits.
Yeah, they have someone posted a picture of him. Someone bought a Marlins jersey and they brought their friends to the game. Like, they had all of like 7 friends in 7 different Billy Hamilton jerseys. He like quote tweeted it like, "Oh, this is so cool." Like, wow, what are you wasting your money on Billy Hamilton jerseys for? That's what I thought. That was my thought. That was my thought.
All right. So, like I said, 13-game slate, so many ways you can go. Let's look at who's the top value before we end up give our stacks and our home run call today. My top, I'll give you some. Who are you looking at? I'm seeing Jake Lamb's going to catch a bunch of love tonight. He's only 2-1, lefty righty. I can't. To me, Lamb is in the same category as Max Muncy, but I like Veerling if he's leading off against Quintana.
Okay.
Who else? Nobody is like really. You can play Gavin Lux in the outfield at 3-6 like that. And Cody Bellinger. We didn't really mention Bellinger lefty righty. I'd rather play Bellinger over Lamb, but there's not crazy value at outfield tonight. Like, that's like we have to have a play there. Really
I'm in on Lamb. If they're gonna hit him 5th, dude. If they're gonna
Seth Brown, no, he's going against Lynn though. My man.
Well, look, you could play. You could play guys in Oakland. Like, they've been pretty good. We mentioned Sky Bolt.
Brown's a definite boomer bust guy. I like that kid.
Sky Bolt too. Sky Bolt. He led off a couple times. 2K, great name. 2K, 308 average over his last 10 games, and he's hit the top of the lineup a couple times. So I don't hate some Oakland. Luke Raleigh is a name that I've been throwing around a bunch lately. 4 straight games with a hit. He's hitting again another like just random guy that Tampa's like, here, man, hit in the middle of our lineup. He's been hitting like 5th for them. He homered the other day. I like your Veerling call. I'm going to play Jake Lamb if he's hitting 5th. I know I just said that, but it just is what it is, like righty-lefty matchup.
I know, and it worries me is if you don't play Lamb, and he's going to be safe 40% owned, and he goes yard, you're almost screwed.
Yep.
Got away with it last night, but maybe 2 nights in a row. I don't know. He doesn't look good to play. He doesn't look good. No, he
doesn't. He does. I mean, there's a reason why he's bounced around the league for a couple years, right? But
he was a big prospect, remember?
Big prospect. And he was great as a rookie. He was great.
He got in front of Brandon Drury in Arizona, and Drury never, I always thought Drury was better, but Drury's actually showing sure.
Under 3K, like the only other name, like I would throw a dart at Chas McCormick in a Houston stack, righty lefty.
Good call.
He hits lefties well.
I like McCormick a lot.
But other than that, like you can play Aaron Hicks, who's been notoriously better against lefties his whole career too. That's a cheap Yankee play. He actually hit 5th last night too. So interesting to see where they hit him. I suspect they move Benintendi down against a lefty, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe even Aaron Hicks leads off. I don't know. But just there's not a lot of great value outside of that. I guess Aledmys Diaz too, right, Pete? Against the lefty? If you want to stick with your Astro stacks too. 3,400 there.
Definitely get a piece of that. Another guy's this Cal Mitchell kid. He had a bomb last night. Only 2K.
He did have a bomb.
Against our guy Falter. Who made Falter. Trace Thompson's a righty, so he may not be a righty. Yeah, that's pretty much. There's nobody really jumping out that you have to play Jake Myers maybe against Ray 2,300. Now I'm just going through BS now, but the Hicks, I like Hicks, and I do like the I like the Chas McCormick. McCormick's only 2.6, and McCormick can handle Ray righty lefty.
Yep.
In 270 last 20 games. Okay, so non-cores. Who is your top stack?
Top stack non-cores. I'm gonna go. It's so close. 1A, 1B between St. Louis, Toronto for me. I'll go St. Louis to be a little more contrarian. I think.
I like it. That's what I'm looking at too.
I think whoever the more contrarian of the two, when we get ownership closer to lock between Toronto and St. Louis, would be my pick.
Agree. I think the St. Louis stack is gonna be very sneaky, very low owned. So I like that. JZ like Yankees. Braves against Mad Bum.
Yep, for sure.
And then, but they always tilt this. I still think I might take another shot at Minnesota with Gary Sanchez. We got some BBPs there. Polanco, Twins tilt me. White Sox always tilt me. But I'm with you with the Cardinals. Cardinals my favorite non-cores, and then you get to the usual suspects, the Jays, Yankees,
and
who I just mentioned. I just said I like the
Minnesota.
The Twins.
Minnesota.
All right, home run call.
Who do you got?
I know that's who I am.
I got go. I'll just be chalk. I mean, I'll stick with St. Louis. I'll go Goldie.
Goldie's your bomb call of the day.
Yeah, I'll go Goldie.
I want to say Freeman, but I can't Freeman's his course. I just Freeman's numbers to me are all just like add up.
Yeah.
So tonight, I'm trying to be a little bit. I think Juan Soto's I think we didn't mention Soto. Soto's in a bomb spot.
Yep.
Soto 304 average. He's going against Michaelis 304, 460 Wool with 301 ISO. I like the Soto call like that. I like Rhys Hoskins, another name we didn't mention. I think he's in a good spot for a home run. So I'm going to go Juan Soto. You're going to go Paul Goldschmidt. We didn't exactly go on a limb here. So give me a home run call under like 4K.
Home run call under 4K. I should.
I'm looking if he plays. I'm looking at Brandon Belt. If he's. I think Belt is in a decent spot.
I will go.
We talked about Alex Cobb today too. Just way too many games.
There are a lot. Cobb can be good.
We never even talked about Alex Cobb.
I will go Aaron Hicks in Yankee Stadium, 3,100.
James has got Goldie, Aaron Hicks. I'm looking at Juan Soto, Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt's too cheap.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are cheap, so if you want to play that, my feelings on Stroman, but the Giants, their most expensive player tonight is Thairo Estrada at 4,100 for context.
Did you see Donnie Barrels yesterday afternoon? Almost killed a kid for the Marlins. Oh, my God.
Dude, I know.
He
so scary.
And you see Solano, he felt so bad, too.
So scary.
Yep, it was, too. But that pitcher could not even react to that.
No, that's,
And Solano can hit a ball hard.
He can.
So, all right. Jeremy Burton's mentioned Steve Piscotty. I'm a Piscotty Pinder guy, even though we're leaning Lynn right now, but he's A's. Seth, I'll do a stack. Seth Brown, Linder, Chad Pinder, Piscotty, all those guys.
Okay. Yeah. No. Look, Lance Lynn has not been great.
We're not talking about Cole here. Or
he has not been great. It's just 6,800 against a. Subpar.
Great price, great matchup.
Yeah, great price, great matchup.
I'm actually glad I even had you on because I've been so anti Lynn because he's been killing me in all my season longs. I think he's a good spot.
Well, I'm sorry if he stinks tonight. Don't come to my door with pitchfork. Okay.
All my money on Lance Lynn now. But to kind of sum it up, we're looking at Cole, Lance Lynn for DK as our cash. Looking at Cole and FanDuel, right? And then we went through all the positions. I think that's it.
Yep.
James, thank you once again. James Grande from Fantasy Alarm. Great to have him back. Check us out. Fantasy Alarm. Check us out. Use fearlesschoice.com. It's fantasyalarm.com, right? Fantasyalarm.com. Yep. Fearlesschoice.com. Two totally different sites, but check us out. We're on both. And thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Good luck to everybody. And we'll be back Monday. Deuces.